There comes a time in life when you finally understand that being alone is not a curse, it is a blessing in disguise. You stop chasing people who do not care. You stop begging for attention that is never returned. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who never saw it in the first place. That is when your peace begins. That is when you start to understand that being alone does not mean you are lonely. It means you are strong enough to stand on your own. You see, most people are afraid of being alone because they confuse it with being unwanted. They think solitude means rejection, but that is not true. Being alone gives you space to breathe, to think, to grow, to understand yourself without the noise of others. It gives you time to heal from the pain, to reflect on what went wrong, and to build yourself into someone unstoppable. Alone is where clarity lives. Alone is where you meet yourself for the first time. When you are always surrounded by people, you start losing touch with your inner voice. You start living for others instead of yourself. You start shaping your life around what they want, what they think, what they expect, and slowly, you forget who you truly are. But when you spend time alone, when you sit in silence and listen to your heart, you start to see what truly matters. You begin to understand your strengths, your limits, your dreams, your fears, all without the influence of others. That is where true confidence begins. You are better off alone because it is in your solitude that you discover your independence. You realize you do not need anyone to complete you, because you were never incomplete. You were just distracted by people who made you forget your own power. You were surrounded by people who wanted you small so they could feel big. But when you pull away, when you take that time to rebuild yourself, you start to rise higher than ever before. There are people in your life who will never clap for you. People who will smile to your face but secretly hope you fail. People who will take your kindness and twist it for their gain. When you learn to be alone, you stop needing their validation. You stop caring about their opinions. You stop giving your energy to people who drain it. You learn that peace is more important than popularity. You learn that your silence is louder than their noise. Being alone also teaches you emotional control. You stop reacting to everything. You stop chasing closure. You stop begging for people to understand your heart. You learn that not everyone deserves access to your emotions. You learn to walk away quietly, with dignity, without explaining yourself. That is what maturity looks like. That is what real power feels like. You become unshakable, untouchable, and unstoppable. When you are alone, you get time to build. You build your vision. You build your goals. You build your habits. You build your strength. You do not have distractions pulling you away from your purpose. The same energy you once wasted trying to fix others can now be used to fix yourself. You stop chasing relationships and start chasing growth. You stop looking for love in others and start finding it within. You stop waiting for someone to save you because you realize you were the hero all along. It is not loneliness that destroys people, it is the fear of it. People stay in toxic relationships, fake friendships, and one-sided bonds because they are afraid of being alone. But what they do not realize is that being alone is far better than being surrounded by the wrong people, because the wrong company will drain your spirit faster than solitude ever could. You will feel more alone sitting next to someone who does not value you than sitting by yourself in peace. You are better off alone because it is the only place you will find honesty. There are no lies, no masks, no pretenses, just you and your truth. And yes, it might be uncomfortable at first. It might hurt to face your thoughts. It might sting to see who you became while trying to please others. But once you face yourself, once you make peace with your past and your pain, you will feel free in a way that no relationship or friendship ever gave you. You will notice something magical happens when you stop trying to fit in. You start to attract people who align with your soul, not your weakness. You start to attract peace, not chaos. You start to attract growth, not gossip. You stop needing people to understand you because you finally understand yourself. You stop begging for love because you have become love itself. Do not fear being alone. Fear losing yourself by being with the wrong people. You are better off alone than surrounded by those who pretend to care. You are better off alone than chasing people who make you feel unwanted. You are better off alone than compromising your peace just to fit in. Because at the end of the day, you only have yourself. And if you can stand strong alone, no one can ever break you again. Remember this: solitude is not punishment. It is preparation. The universe separates you from people, not to hurt you, but to help you rebuild. To remind you that not everyone deserves your loyalty, your time, your energy, your heart. It isolates you so you can evolve in silence and come back stronger, wiser, and more peaceful than ever. So stop being afraid of being alone. Use it, embrace it, let it sharpen your mind and strengthen your soul. Learn how to be at peace with your own company. Because once you do, you will never depend on anyone for happiness again. You will no longer settle for less, no longer beg for love, and no longer fear being alone. Because you will realize the person you were waiting for was always you. Your peace is priceless. Protect it. Your energy is sacred. Guard it. Your solitude is powerful. Cherish it. Being alone is not the end. It is the beginning of your transformation. The moment you stop fearing solitude, you start becoming unstoppable. If this message spoke to you, remember, your growth begins when you choose yourself. So take this as your sign. Stop fearing loneliness, stop chasing what left, and start walking in peace. This is Motiversity of Success. If this message touched your heart, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let us grow together, in strength, in silence, and in self-respect.